This is the video tutorial for the Happy Days WINSLET wrist pouch. It's designed to put on your wrist and keep a few loose change or your keys in. Here it's being used to hold a door key. Ideal for when you're going out, when you're jogging, or just taking the dog for a walk and you don't want to take a bag. You will need two contrasting fabrics, although you could do it all in the same if you wish. A zipper with nylon teeth and some flat elastic. And this is how we make it. You'll need to cut out one for the main piece and one for the strap. Place your strap fabric right sides up so you're looking at the pretty side and fold in half lengthways and press. Then add a few clips. I've added my clips and now I'm going to take it over the sewing machine and I'm going to use a 1 centimetre seam allowance. You might like to draw a line along if you're unsure, and you sew all the way along and stop. I've sewn all the way across using a 1 centimetre seam allowance, and now I'm going to turn it the right way out. I've turned it the right way out and I've rolled my strap slightly so the centre seam is right in the middle. Place a pin, safety pin, on the end of your elastic and carefully thread through. I've threaded my elastic and I've added a clip at each end. I'm now going to take it over the sewing machine and sew carefully both ends. That's your strap completed for the time being, and I'm going to put it to one side. We're now working on the main bag. Place your bag fabric right sides up so you're looking at the pretty side. Get your zipper and make sure that the tab is facing downwards, and place this edge on this edge. Don't worry if your zip's a bit long, we're going to cut it at the end. And then add a few clips. Pop your zipper foot on and sew all the way across. I've sewn all the way across and now we've got to do the other side. Make sure that the edges all line up and then place the other edge of the zipper on the top edge of the fabric. And as we did before, add some clips. Once you've added your clips, over to the sewing machine with your zipper foot on again and sew all the way across. I've sewn all the way across and now we've got to open the zipper. I've opened my zipper and now I'm going to pull my fabric away from the zip, take it over the iron and press. I've pressed it and now I'm going to take it over my sewing machine and sew all along. I normally increase my stitch length to a 4. I've top stitched all the way along. Now I've got to do the same for this side. So open up, press your fabric away. I'll press my fabric and now I'm going to take it over the sewing machine and top stitch all the way along. Now we've got to find the centre. Fold in half and line up your zipper teeth and make sure the sides all line up nicely and form a nice sharp crease down the centre. Now take your strap you made earlier and place the centre seam on the crease and add a clip. I've added a clip and now I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and use a scanned 1/4 inch, tack the strap into place. I've tacked along this side and now we've got to do exactly the same for this side. So pull over and make sure that your centre seam lines up with your crease. And then add a clip, and as we did before, tack into place. That's my strap tacked into place, and now I'm going to close my zip. I've closed my zip, and the next step is to ensure that your zip is on top of your strap so it's central. And when you're happy with that, take it over to your iron. Nice sharp creases each side. The next stage is quite important. Open your zipper about halfway. Next, pull this side over, holding your teeth of your zipper together with your hand over, and pull this side over. Make sure these line up, the raw edges, and add a couple of clips. Now, using a 1 centimetre seam allowance, sew all the way across. I've sewn all along, and now we've got to do the same for the other end. And because you've got your elastic inside, you'll have to pull the back up a bit so it lines up, and then fold over as we did before. Check that everything lines up, and when you're happy, this is the fiddly bit, this one, because we've got the stretchy elastic inside. And when you're happy with that, add a couple of clips. I've added my clips, and I've made sure that this edge and this edge line up. This is the fiddliest bit of the pattern. And when you're happy with that, as we did before, a 1 centimetre seam allowance all the way across. I've sewn across, so both straps are now in place, and I've cut off my excess zipper, and now we've got to turn it the right way out through the zipper. I've turned it the right way out, and I've folded in the fabric at the sides, and that's your WINSLET wrist pouch all finished.